Polynomials, and we are dealing with zeros. So how do we calculate the zeros in a polynomial? If we end up with a polynomial and we have already factorized it, so it's in factor form, if we now go and look at each of these, what we just got to see is for each of these terms, so it'll be term 1 times term 2 times the third term over here. If any one of these equals 0, then the entire result is 0. So on the y-axis we have 0. So if we have a look here, you can see it's quite easy to calculate. 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 2 or 3 minus 3 is 0. So quite easy once we factorized to pick up what the 0 terms are. So if we take another example now, a little bit more complicated, if we've got 2x and then 2x plus 3 and x minus 2 being our three terms over here, if we now want to go and get our 0 values, well, we would see for this one it would be 2 times 0 would give us a 0. Let's just see, 2 times what plus 3 would give us a 0. So think of that yourself before I bring up the answer. And x minus 2, so what would x need to be for that to be equal to 0? And hopefully you came up with the answer. Well, it's going to be 0 over here. Over here it's going to be minus 1.5. So 2 times minus 1.5 plus 3 will equal 0. And same thing over here. We'll have 2 minus 1. And those are our 0 terms over there. So we'll look in the next chapter in terms of multiplicity to understand, well, what's the slope of the of each of these 0 values. But for now, we just want to see if this is correct. So if we go and actually graph this particular polynomial, all right, we can see there it is. We've actually graphed it. And you can see there is our 0 points. So the first one is minus 1.5. So there we are about there, minus 1.5. The next one is 0. And the next one is at 2. So there we go. Hopefully that's given you a good indication now of how to calculate what the zeros are in the polynomial. And as long as you factorized it, it's easy enough to actually come up with those values. Thank you.